Hey guys, welcome back to my Flight Attendant Secrets series. Shh. In this series, I share with you guys my secret flight attendant knowledge that I've acquired over the years from being a flight attendant. So, are you a nervous flyer? Do you have fear of flying? Is your fear prohibiting you from traveling the world? One of the #1 things I get asked on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram is, what are my tips and tricks for nervous flyers? It's like legit, it's a thing. Like, people are really scared to fly and to go on an airplane. So I gathered my top 5 tips and tricks that you guys can do to maybe help you be a little less nervous and take that vacation that maybe you've been putting off. Starting with tip #1, get to the airport insanely early. If they recommend that you are there 2 hours before your flight takes off, you're gonna get there 3 hours. Let me tell you why this is gonna be so helpful for you guys. You're not gonna care if you're held up at the ticketing process and checking your bags, or if there's a long line, or if the airport is just insanely crowded. You're gonna know that you have plenty of time. Then when you're going through security, hey, go ahead, give me a little extra screening, no problem. I've got like 5 hours before my flight. Okay, not really, you don't need 5 hours, but I definitely recommend 3. Then once you get into where the terminals are and the gates, and if you're a little bit lost and you're like, where is gate 55A? I have no idea. Don't worry, take your time. You're not gonna be stressed out. You're gonna have so much time to walk casually. You're not gonna be that person or that family running through the airport terminal, rushing to get to their gate. I have been that person when I was making a tight connection. But that is not gonna be you. You're gonna have plenty of extra time. The second reason that it is so important to get to the airport early is because if you've ever been to an airport, there are like tons and tons of windows everywhere that let you look out and actually see the planes. This is gonna be so helpful for you because you're gonna be able to walk up to that window, look out, and see how many planes actually take off a minute and how many planes land. It's like a well-oiled machine. It's like boom, boom, brr, brr. That's my landing sound. Brr. This might give you guys like a broader perspective to really kind of calm you and say, okay, there's like 10 planes I just saw take off. Everything was fine. And then I saw another 10 land. I think I'm gonna be okay. This can really help calm you down, and I always recommend standing and looking out the window. Tip #2 is to let your flight attendant know exactly what you're nervous about. Let us know. As a flight attendant, tell me, come talk to me before boarding. Don't block the aisle. Let other passengers into their row, and make sure your luggage is up, stowed away, and then proceed to come find the flight attendant and let me know that, hey, I'm a nervous flyer, or this is my first flight, or I have a little bit of fear of heights. Let us know what's going on. We're gonna definitely be able to talk with you, to let you know what's going on, to let you know that it's okay if anytime during the flight you need to come talk to us and, ask us any questions, as long as the seatbelt sign is not illuminated. It's also okay for you guys to ring that call light and have us come over if you aren't feeling well, if your nerves are starting to get to you. The flight attendants are really there to help you. We want to make your trip as comfortable as possible. So please, tell a flight attendant if you have any nervousness, any fear, anything whatsoever. We are there for you. #3 tip is to sit on an aisle seat. I think this is like my favorite place to sit on an airplane in general, regardless of anything. I love sitting on the aisle, but I always tell people, if you're a nervous flyer, sit on the aisle because it's gonna give you the most access to be able to get up out of your seat if you just cannot sit anymore. You're just like, your nerves have hit the top, you need to get up. As long as the seatbelt sign is not illuminated, speak with the flight attendant, let them know that, you're not okay and you need to talk to them. For me, it always makes me feel like I have a little bit more freedom. Like if I sit at the window or if I'm in the middle, then I've got to disturb somebody to be able to get out of the aisle. So for me, if I'm sitting on the aisle, I'm like, okay, I'm all right, I'm sitting on the aisle. If I need to use the restroom, if I need to get up and get something out of the overhead bin, I will use cautious as items may have shifted during flight. But I feel like a little bit more freedom when I'm sitting on the aisle, and I think it really helps if you're a nervous flyer. Tip number 4, and I think maybe the most important tip if you are a nervous flyer is to have distractions. Bring distractions for you so you are not depending on the airplane to have an entertainment center in the seat back, or the movies that are playing on the airplane. Do not rely on the airplane for entertainment. Bring your own entertainment. If you are watching a show, download all the episodes onto your personal device, your cell phone, your computer, your iPad. Bring all your shows, your TV shows, your video games, your crossword puzzles, your knitting, your book on audio, whatever you need to bring to distract yourself. I definitely recommend bringing more than you think you need. Like say you have one book, bring 2 books just in case you finish one. Bring several magazines if you need to. Just have distractions. This is gonna be your number one thing to help you get through the flight. My personal favorite distraction is to listen to a book on audio and put one of those sleep masks that cover your eyes. That way you're not tempted to open your eyes and look around whatsoever. That is my favorite advice to give people when they're like, I'm a nervous flyer. I'm like, book on audio, mask, done. Tip number 5. Tell yourself it's okay to be nervous, but don't let that fear get in the way of you being able to travel or you being able to do anything in general. Guys, there are so many nervous flyers out there. It's the number one question that I always get asked, what my tips and tricks are. So trust me, you are not alone. It is 100% okay to be a nervous flyer, to maybe have a little bit of fear of heights or a fear of flying in general. But don't let that fear overcome you. I always tell people, like, what do you want more? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to go take that dream vacation? Or do you want to let that fear consume you? No. Don't let that fear consume you. Go and take that vacation that you've been wanting to take, for your whole life, or go travel the world and maybe start off small. If you're super scared and you don't think you can automatically do like a 9-hour international flight, don't do it. Start with a 2-hour flight, 4-hour flight. Work your way up and let yourself know that it's okay that you're a little nervous, but you're gonna overcome it. All right, guys, those were my top 5 tips, tricks, and secrets that I have for you guys on how to overcome being a nervous flyer. Get there early, tell the flight attendant, sit on the aisle, bring distractions. Don't let fear overcome you. If you guys have a tip that I didn't mention, or you think like this is the best thing that I use to overcome my fear of flying, please comment down below. Let us know. Let us know your experiences, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And again, guys, if you have a burning question that you've always wanted to ask a flight attendant, right here, I'm your girl. Comment down below your questions, and I might film another flight attendant secret video using your question. And guys, remember, always be nice to your flight attendant. Bye, guys.